Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here in court. Today is the trial of Tapit Trice. Joining me tonight, Matthew DeSantis, who's going to have a different opinion than I have, and it's going to be interesting to hear each other defend and try to withhold the standing of Tapit Trice. Matthew, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. And as the son and grandson of a lawyer, I feel like I'm finally getting my opportunity to make my father and grandfather proud. I made the decision to go into the very disreputable profession of higher education. And so now I get to be a lawyer again. We'll be serving on the against side of Tapit Trice, but look forward to this. This is fun. I mean, this is what the Derby's all about, is going back and forth with your buddies and your friends about these different horses.
And it is fun, but listen, this is the truth. This Matt is kind of against Tapit Trice too, and I'm for him. So we're defending our honor here a little bit. So there's a little bit of fun mixed in with trying to actually stand up for what we believe in on these horses. So let's do it, baby.
Yeah, there's no phoning this up.
No. Tapit Trice is on trial, baby. Let's get it started with the opening statements. All right, I'm defending Tapit Trice today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to waste your time with too many X's and O's about Tapit Trice. You've seen him show more grit and determination to overcome even his own setbacks out of the gate than any other horse in this race. I'm going to show you that this son of Tapit's superior bloodlines include such American classic racehorses as AP Indy and Unbridled, which will be too much for his competitors to overcome. The superior breeding and the two-time Derby champion, Hall of Fame trainer Todd Pletcher's ability to optimize an already great horse make him an obvious choice to win this year's Kentucky Derby. Matthew?
Well, that's a very eloquent opening statement. What I will say is, my opening statement is, this is a horse that has a fatal flaw. We all look at horses and look at whether or not they have that fatal flaw, and Tapit Trice's fatal flaw is the opening starting gate. In a 20-horse field, getting off a half step slow is the difference between first place and 8th place. And Tapit Trice in a 20-horse field is going to be up against it. This is not the field of the Tampa Bay Derby, where you had horses with very little success after that race running against him. This is a horse that has not faced great competition. The best horse he's beaten, I think we can all agree, is Verifying. And Verifying's best race is an allowance victory over a horse, Two Eagles River, who just recently finished 4th in a lesser stakes race. Additionally, Todd Pletcher, the great Hall of Fame trainer, only 2 for 62 in the Kentucky Derby, and none of his horses have hit the board since 2018. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I think my case is very clear that you are going to be against Tapit Trice. Now, in the name of fairness, we are going to have both sides offer the opportunity for a rebuttal.
All right. Let's talk some pros and cons, mainly the pros from my perspective on Tapit Trice. He's on a major upward trajectory. Hasn't had a super clean break at all, but they're getting better. It's improved every race, actually. In spite of the bad starts, he's battle tested. He's proven that he runs for days. He's still picking up speed at the end of these races. He seems to be improving down the stretch. He doesn't have any issues with distance. He's only getting better down the stretches. If he can just get a halfway clean break, like he did last out, hey, he could win. He could win the Derby because he does outkick everybody else. Next up for me, this horse loves to win. He needs to win. He almost fell down on his belly in the 2 races back. Got a 100-yard dash head start for the rest of the field. Still came back and won that race. I know it was the Tampa Bay Derby. It wasn't the greatest field of all time. But that's a halfway decent field, and he covered him because he's got hot, baby. He's got hot. Aside from 2 Phils, who ran on Synth, and aside from Practical Move, who runs in California on Santa Anita, who has inflated numbers. The highest buyer speed figure last time out at 99. The only ones higher were the 2 I mentioned that were at 100 even, and they're in fictional land. All right. He loves the distance. He's bred for distance. Like I said, he's still gaining speed at the end of the stretch. He's got no sign of being weary. He doesn't get legs. He's a monster. It's the best horse in the field if he can just get out of the gate. Next.
Listen, You're absolutely right that he's a classy horse. I'll concede that to you. The problem is that even in his most recent effort, which was, I think we agree, the most impressive effort, as you quantified with the speed figure, he still had to take an extremely wide trip. Now, he might be able to get away with that at the Bluegrass, where again, his main competition was verifying. Outside of that, I think a very unimpressive horse like Blazing Seven, Sun Thunder coming back
Agreed.
from a long layoff. Not a lot else in that field, to be perfectly honest. And here's the thing, you can get away with that ultra wide trip and the move that Luis Saez, his jockey, gave him that day because it was a smaller field. He was able to angle out from the inside post, going around the turn, and get out in the clear. The problem is in the Kentucky Derby when you're going that extra furlong. Yes, he's not shown any signs of tiring, but he's also never run this distance. Now you're going to go that distance. And oh, by the way, you're probably going to be 8, 9, 10 wide going around that final turn. That's exactly what we saw last year with those horses going super, super wide and eating up all that ground. He's not a particularly agile horse. I don't expect him to have a ground saving trip. Size is going to keep him outside. So he doesn't like getting kicked back. Again, I think that's a very big problem. And just worry about all these Todd Pletcher horses being engaged throughout the race. And Saez, if you watch him, yes, those races are so visually impressive, but he has to work on that horse every single step of the way, and doing it on the biggest stage, going wide, perhaps a step slow, I just think is a recipe for disaster. Therefore, Tapit Trice is a horse I am all in on fading in this year's Kentucky Derby. Now, we've presented some arguments and counter arguments, but now it is time to go to the closing arguments.
First of all, thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Now I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money or try to change your mind on anything. I'm just here to help prevent you from looking silly on Derby Day if you leave this horse off your tickets. I want you to imagine yourself standing wherever in the world that you are on May 6th and be able to say to yourself, I did the right thing. I made the right decision. Well, did you make the right decision? Did you make the right decision? You don't have to. You don't have to make the right decision. You can look away, hold your head down, hang it low, and wallow in your misery. I don't care at all. I will close out with one statement. Will you make the right decision on May 6th? Will you be able to say, I remember when Tapit Trice won the Derby, and I was right? I rest my case.
Well, to that, I would simply say a line from a very famous courtroom drama, you can't handle the truth. Because the truth is, Tapit Trice is a high volatility horse, the sort of horse that I want no part of in the Kentucky Derby. He is boom or bust, and he is going to be bet down from whatever his morning line is. I also do not trust his trainer, Todd Pletcher, getting horses ready for the big day. This is not just a Kentucky Derby thing, folks. Out of all of the major trainers in North America, Todd Pletcher has the lowest winning percentage in the Breeders' Cup as well. When it comes to big days, Todd Pletcher comes up small. He's got 3 big-time horses in this race. I don't think any of them are going to hit the board. I am all out on Tapit Trice, who I think is going to be left at the starting gate, and you're going to be left there saying, thank goodness I left Tapit Trice off my tickets.